Welcome to Facts, Fiction and Faraway Lands, your Friday ticket to wonder, words and the wide world. Introducing a new segment called Customs and Curiosities, where we talk about interesting customs and traditions from different parts of the world. Let's start with our neighbor, China. Why China? This tradition is celebrated by Chinese around the world. Imagine a time when the whole country dresses up in red, dragon dance on streets, and families gather for the most important dinner of the year. That's Chinese New Year, also called the Spring Festival. This festival marks the start of a new year in the lunar calendar, which follows the moon cycle. That's why the date changes every year, usually falling between late January and mid-February. Each year is named after an animal from the Chinese zodiac, like the rabbit, dragon, tiger, and so on. Families get ready by cleaning their homes. They believe sweeping away dust sweeps away bad luck. Then they decorate their houses with red lanterns, couplets and paper cuttings. Why red? Because red is the color of luck and happiness. On New Year's Eve, everyone sits down for a big reunion dinner. The table is full of special foods like dumplings for wealth, fish for abundance, rice cakes for success, and spring rolls for prosperity. After dinner, children receive red envelopes called hongbao filled with money, not just as a gift but as a blessing for good fortune. Outside, celebrations are loud and colorful. Dragon and lion dances fill the streets, fireworks light up the skies, and firecrackers snap and pop to chase away bad spirits. The festival lasts 15 days, and on the final night, families celebrate the Lantern Festival. Streets glow with lanterns of every shape and color, and children make wishes for the year ahead. Chinese New Year is more than just a party. It's a time to honor family, remember ancestors, and welcome happiness, health, and prosperity for the year to come. In the peaceful countryside of Somerset, there lived a kind and wise farmer named George. He owned a small farm that he cared for with great love and hard work. Though he wasn't very big or rich, George was content with his quiet life, his loyal horse Alfie, and the beautiful green fields around him. One fine spring morning, while ploughing the fields with Alfie, George's plough suddenly struck something hard. Curious, he stopped to check and found a huge stone buried deep in the ground. George and Alfie tried many times to move it, but it didn't budge. Instead of getting angry or upset, George smiled and said, "Well, Alfie, if we can't move it, let's work around it." He decided to leave the stone where it was and used it to divide the fields into small planting areas, different planting areas. It became a central point for planting the crops. As seasons passed, George noticed the stone gave shade during hot afternoons. He and his worker would rest beside it, sharing stories and laughter. Children from the village would stop by to play around the stone, and travelers would sit beside it to enjoy the peace of the countryside. When the harvest season came, George had an idea. During the village harvest festival, he decorated the stone with flowers and ribbons. Musicians played songs beside it, and storytellers stood on it like a stage to tell their tales. The once annoying stone became the heart of the farm, a place full of fun and friendship. One day, a student from Bristol University came to study farming methods. She was surprised to see how George had turned a big problem into something so useful and joyful. George shared his secret with a smile. Sometimes the things we can't change become the things that help us grow. The student wrote a paper about George's clever thinking and won an award. Soon, people from nearby towns and cities came to see the famous stone and learn from the wise farmer. As George grew older, he decided to turn his farm into a small school for young farmers. He taught them how to care for the land, solve problems with calm minds, and respect nature. The stone remained at the center of it all, quietly reminding everyone of George's wisdom. When George passed away, the villagers placed a plaque on the stone that read, "In every obstacle, there's an opportunity. In every stone, there's a story." We have been traveling across the world, exploring faraway lands. And then a thought struck me. Why not India? After all, India itself is a treasure chest, bursting with cultures, traditions, foods, landscape, and stories waiting to be told. And so, introducing a brand new segment, Incredible India. Are you ready for a mystery from the heart of the Himalayas? Let me take you to a place that might just give you chills. Roopkund Lake, hidden high in the mountains of Uttarakhand. Imagine this, a quiet frozen lake surrounded by snow-covered peaks. But here's the twist. Beneath its icy waters lie hundreds of ancient skeletons. In winter, the lake remains frozen solid. But when ice melts in summer, the waters reveal a haunting sight. Well-preserved human skeletons, some dating back nearly 1,000 years. Scientists and anthropologists have been studying them for decades, trying to solve the mystery. What really happened here? Folklore whispers of a king and his entourage caught in a sudden deadly hailstorm. Others believe they were travelers or soldiers who perished on their journey. The truth is still uncertain, but one thing is clear. The freezing cold acted like nature's time capsule, keeping those skeletons intact through the centuries. So, Roopkund isn't just a lake. It's a story frozen in time, a chilling reminder of nature's power and a mystery that continues to us to puzzle every day. Let's learn a new word. Satchel. We spell it as Satchel. Satchel is a type of bag, but not just any bag. A satchel is soft, square or rectangular bag with a long strap usually worn over the shoulder. Long ago, students carried their books and lunch in their leather satchels, and even today you might see postmen, messengers or travelers using them. Think of it like a cousin of the school bag, a bit older, a bit cooler, and often made of cloth or leather. Usage: she packed her sketchbook and pencils into her brown satchel and set off for the park. You can use it while talking about travel, school, or even in a story. crunching through so much fascinating information. So, why not end on a lighter note? Here's something to make you smile. Why don't skeletons fight each other? They don't have guts. That wraps up another magical stop in facts, fiction, and faraway lands. Until next time, keep wondering. If you loved today's journey, don't forget to tap like, hit subscribe, and share it with your family and friends. Let's spread the magic of learning. Bye, Story Explorers. See you.